Welcome to another Fantasy Game Plan with Joey D, Persky, myself, and let's not forget the director. And as we always do, Week 7, we got to talk about the Redskins. The Redskins report, they lost to Dallas, and it was very painful as I watched that. I don't want to even say anything else about it. So let's just roll to the preview.
Well, first of all, you can address me as 5-1. Sorry, number 1 seed in our NASCAR league at 5-1. Redskins get Chicago this week. We get a home game. I'm not sure how I feel about it after watching last week. Couple positives. I think D'Angelo Hall did a pretty nice job with Des Bryant. Des Bryant owners were probably a little frustrated after that. I think he can hang with new Brandon Marshall owner over here with Brandon Marshall. So I think Alshon Jeffrey has a big day, and unfortunately, I think Forte is going to have a really big day against the Redskins. But I'm going to take the Skins. They got a real tough stretch. They pay Denver next week. I don't think they lose all 3 of them, so this is the one they're going to win. I think they squeak one out against the Bears.
Persky, I got to agree with you. From a fantasy perspective, Forte is going to carve up that Redskins. DeMarco Murray was on his way to 200 yards before he got hurt. They are going to run all over the Redskins.
Right,
I was a big Redskin fan last week, and I think that's the reason why they lost.
They let you down.
Well,
Sorry. We won't talk about your Giants either.
Well, let's not forget about, we finally got the running game going on the Redskins side. We saw Alfred. They need to get a little bit more dose of the run there to kind of take a little pressure off of RG3. If he can get into the end zone, he already had the numbers yardage-wise.
He did.
But if he can get a few touchdowns there, I think maybe fantasy point guys, you get up there.
I think Cutler's a good start this week, too, again, unfortunately.
What do you got for us, Director?
How about, let's go to buy-sell segment. Let's start off with Trent Richardson.
Again, I've been a Trent Richardson owner last year. I watched him play every game for the Cleveland Browns. I am still buying this guy. I think he's a few games away. I watched the game the other night with San Diego. He's a couple of missed shoestring tackles away from breaking one for 40. I'm still buying Trent Richardson.
I'm officially worried about Trent Richardson, but I'm buying too for this reason. I can tell you the owner is getting antsy. He's probably frustrated. He's probably lost a few games. He's probably willing to sell him for a pretty good price. So if you can get a good value for Trent Richardson, I'd buy him because down the playoff stretch, he could be a monster.
Well, this week, I'm selling Trent. Reason being is, we know about Denver and their offense, but their defense isn't too shabby. They're getting a new player.
Talk about trade offers. I was offered Richardson for Gio Bernard. I didn't take it, so that should tell you where he stands as far as trade value.
Of course, you're an idiot. So that was, no, I'm just kidding. I might have taken that, but I do like Gio Bernard. How about this week? Yeah.
How about Vernon Davis?
I'm buying Vernon Davis as long as Crabtree's not there. They have no one else to throw to. Bolden's not doing anything. I am all over Vernon Davis. He is freakishly fast.
Beast.
He's the most athletic person on the field. I'm buying him.
Yeah, he's a beast. You're probably going to have to pay a pretty penny for him, though, after last week.
Got to go a little inside on there. I may have to sell him this week because guess who they're playing? The Tennessee Titans. Guess who the defensive coordinator is? Jerry Gray. And who's his backup guy? Greg Williams. We all know how much Greg Williams loves putting the clamps on those tight ends. So I look at the end of the day, he's not going to have that big game like he had last week.
Now, for what it's worth, 5-1, 3-3.
Oh, he brings out your
2-4.
record.
So if you want to take that advice, everybody out there, you do so.
All right.
How about Cam Newton?
Cam Newton, I got to tell you, I'm not a huge Cam Newton fan, but after what I saw last week, I think I'm buying Cam Newton because I think his value's still a little bit down. I think you might be able to get him for a good price. You could do a lot worse at quarterback. There's probably only a handful right now that I'd be more excited about leading my fantasy team. I kind of like Cam Newton all of a sudden.
I like Cam Newton as well. I think the last couple of weeks, he's looked pretty good. He's throwing a good ball. LaFell, if LaFell can develop. Olsen's a little banged up. D'Angelo's been a pretty good back, not for goal line purposes, but the defense looks really good. I'm buying Cam as well.
Yeah, I agree on buying Cam. Shula finally gets it as the offensive coordinator. He's utilizing not only just the arm, but he's utilizing the legs. That puts an extra wrinkle in there.
How about Justin Blackman?
I just wish I had him on one of my teams. Again, you're going to have to pay out the nose for him. He's one of those guys, if you were smart when he was in his suspension, you were either picking him up off waivers or getting him for a song at that point. He's going to cost you. I'm telling you, I can't believe I'm even suggesting to buy anyone on the Jacksonville Jaguars, but I'd sell their entire team for him. I like Blackman.
I agree. This is fantasy football. This is not real football. And Justin Blackman is anybody on Jacksonville is going to be the king of garbage time, we like to call it, as far as racking up those fantasy points at the end of games when it's 35-7. I'm buying Blackman as
I
well.
gotta go with you guys. Gotta go with JB.
All right, here's a little wild card. How about any offensive player on the New England Patriots? What do we think about them? They've been up and down.
I tell you who's emerged is Stephen
Stephen
Ridley.
Ridley.
I tell you, 2 touchdowns last week. If you've been patient enough to hang on to him, I think he's finally back. LeGarrette Blount doesn't look good at all anymore. Brady was supposed to get Gronkowski back. He's losing Amendola. You got Edelman there. Somehow they're 5-1, but they lost Mayo. They lost Will Fork.
Yeah.
Their defense up the middle, and I heard this morning on Mike and Mike, their defense up the middle has taken a huge shot. I think they're in trouble long term.
Yeah, I'm selling Patriots just because I don't like them. So sell all of them. I don't know who's starting from week to week. I don't know who they're throwing it to. Brady's still not a bad option, but
Yep.
for me, I'm selling most of my Patriots.
Yeah, I agree. You know, pretty much everybody except for Brady, somehow he finds somebody and makes him a star. Whoever's catching the ball, if they can catch, he's going to get some points.
That's pretty crazy.
All right, let's go down through a couple key games for next week. Let's start off with Thursday night, Seattle at Arizona.
I got to go with Seattle. Seattle, you know, even though they're playing in Arizona, Seattle is just head and shoulders above Arizona right now.
Low-scoring game. Thursday night games generally are as well. Yeah, a grinded-out game just has Seattle written all over it. I think big night for Marshawn Lynch.
Although he's a little banged up, I'm going to agree it's Seattle, but I think the defense for Seattle scores some points.
Yeah.
Fitzgerald, what do y'all?
I'd say hold on Fitzgerald. I'm not sure.
Yeah, he's got a lingering hammy issue. Although I didn't start him last week, and I almost paid the price. I still was the Toyota biggest blowout of the week, but he had broken play, went for 80-yard touchdown, but I don't think he does much against Richard Sherman.
No.
Cincinnati at Detroit.
Cincinnati at Detroit. That's a tough one, but Cincinnati, I like Cincinnati and Detroit. Dalton had a 30-point game fantasy-wise, 3 touchdowns. You know, a little bit played better more than Stafford did, so I got to go with Cincinnati, you know.
My gut's telling me Cincy, but my heart's going to say the Lions just because I watched them play last week. Stafford's back, man. Stafford looks good. They're running the ball. They got the dual threat there in the backfield with Bell and Reggie Wayne Reggie Bush. I like Detroit this week.
All you need to know about this game is Thaddeus Lewis lit up Cincinnati in the beginning of the game. So what's Stafford and company going to do to him?
How about Dallas at Philadelphia?
NFC East
I think we
rivalry
just
right
pass on
there.
this game.
I know, man.
None of us want to talk about those 2 teams. Pass.
This is
Well, you got Nick Foles there.
He's the story.
And he is the big story. You talk about quarterback, controversy. Here's a guy that had 30 points fantasy-wise, and you got to figure out whether or not Chip Kelly's going to make that decision. Who's going to play? I got to go with Philly in this one right here. If they play Nick Foles, the teams rally around him, and Cooper, who also had a great game as a wide receiver for Philly. I got to go with Philly on this one.
Yeah, I agree, and I think this is a monster day for LaShawn McCoy. Again, Alfred Morris had some success, and I think LaShawn McCoy might be just a little bit more of a back out of the backfield
Without
even
Ware,
there.
too.
So without DeMarcus Ware,
DeMarco Murray.
I like the Eagles in this one.
I like the Eagles as well, and I like Foles, and I think Foles starts this game, and I think he starts the rest of the year if he wins this game.
How about Denver at Indy?
Manning comes home.
What do you got for us, Joey D?
I'm not going against Manning and company at all this year. Their offense is too good. No Sean Marino is good all of a sudden. That guy stays healthy. He's the key to them going all the way to the Super Bowl.
No, I definitely like Denver. As a luck owner in my Washington league, who incidentally needed 4 points from him on Monday night, and I had won for all of 30 seconds until he threw the interception, which deducted a point and resulted in a tie. I was a little frustrated with luck. We saw a blueprint how to shut the Colts down, and that's keep them sitting on the sidelines. I don't see Denver playing by that same rule. They like to get first downs 30 yards at a time. I think Luck will have more time on the field. I think he has a big day. Don't know that Trent Richardson will have a huge day because they're probably going to be behind and throwing the ball. So Reggie Wayne, T.Y. Hilton, all the Colts offensive players, get him in your lineup.
Yep. Manning, he likes to keep it classy, and this has got to be probably a revenge game for him, the team that let him go, and I think he's going to have a killer game going back home to Indy where it all started. So, yeah, I got to go with Denver.
I think he'll be a gentleman and stop at 5 touchdowns. Just for sake
Only
of being a
5?
fan. Yeah, maybe just 5.
Not good records, but big fantasy implications. Let's talk about Minnesota at the Giants.
Well, knock, knock. Owen.
Oh, and who?
0-7. I hope it doesn't happen 0-7, but if the Giants don't win this game, we have big trouble brewing. Minnesota at New York. Josh Freeman's going to start.
Josh Freeman.
Adrian Peterson didn't do much last week. The tragedy he had. I think Monday night, New York, national stage. Adrian Peterson's due for a big, big day. I'm a little concerned about it.
I think you're right about the big day, but I think the Giants get off the schneid this week. They've got to win this
I hope
game.
so.
They are, I bet it was a tough week of practice. There's pride on the line. I think not only do they win, they may win big this week. And that I may look dumb on this one because they haven't looked good, but I just got a hunch. The New York Giants and Tom Coughlin can't go 0-7, so they got to win this game.
I got to go with you. They're playing at home. Brandon Jacobs, the big guy,
last week.
had an unbelievable game. There's a possibility that he does the same thing and keeps the momentum rolling. I got to go with the Giants.
Yep.
All right, let's talk about one more thing. Let's talk about who's on a bye this week and a couple pickups. Joseph Randle and Keenan Allen.
Well, I got in early on Keenan Allen. I watched him play a few weeks ago, and I picked him up and had some good success with him. He's a really good wide receiver, got good control with his body. He's got some great hands. Rivers loves throwing to him. I like that pickup. The running back for Dallas, I think he's a 1 or 2 week wonder. 11 carries, 17 yards last week. Small frame guy. I don't know.
Make sure you get your, if you've got any Saints, obviously, there's a lot of people affected. Jimmy Graham owners, Drew Brees, Colston. Make sure you've got an alternate plan. Hopefully, if you're a Brees owner, you picked up a guy. Is there a bye week quarterback that somebody could maybe pick up off on waivers? If
Nick Foles is out there. You got Carson Palmer's out there. You don't want to start him against Seattle, but you got choices like Tannehill. You got a couple of guys you can throw in there.
Well, I think you guys have said it all, and that should do it with another segment of Fantasy Game Plan. Don't forget, get your tips here, right here at Fantasy Game Plan at GamePlanForLife.com, or you can also Twitter if you have any questions at Joey D, at Persky, or at Ronaldo Win, and we'll see you next week.
5-1.
Remember, keep your hand out of the snake's mouth.